So create a 100-day plan, integration plan, and also create kind of a strategic plan. How do you do it in your firm? Do you do that? An executive just contributes? Does the executive drive that process? What kind of, Evan, maybe you can start.
Yes. So typically after we've acquired a business, there's a 90-day strategy session that we host either at the management or down at the business or at our firm.
And I'm sorry, did you say you do it post-acquisition?
Post-acquisition.
Okay, so
yeah.
That's another question. When you do that? Some people do it before.
Yeah.
So you do it after?
Well, obviously, we have a 100-day plan prior, but then once we've closed the business, we have a strategy session 90 days afterwards. And that's where we sit down with the whole team, the executive partner, and we sit down at a table and we discuss.
The executive partner, is that someone that you've now hired, or are you still maybe considering to bring them on board?
At this point, he's probably hired.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, through the diligence period, he's, like we discussed up here, he's probably not getting paid other than, getting reimbursed for travel and helping us in the diligence process. But once we've acquired the business and we've decided to put him on, on the investment in some capacity, then then he's getting paid. But yeah, during that strategy session, we sit down and we develop a roadmap on how we want to grow the business, and everyone has input, and we decide from that, that meeting, which levers are we going to turn to grow this business, and we decide that as a team, and then we, set metrics to measure that throughout our hold period, and kind of proceed that way.
Anybody else, especially if you do it before the acquisition? What kind of expectation do you have?
Depends on whether or not the existing team's going to run it or your guy's going to run it.
Okay.
So if it's, I think in both cases we want to have that 100-day plan kind of outlined ahead of time. It's just a lot easier to strategize about it when it's you working with the executive knowing he's going to go in day one and execute, than trying to get the banker out of the way so you can do it with the existing team. Because a lot of times the things that you're going to be talking about are going to be tearing down what was in the sim and really trying to get at what the real story is, and the bankers aren't going to let you do that. But if you know that the executive is going to be the one that's the point person to drive the strategy, you're doing that, for every piece of information that comes in from a diligence perspective, you're saying, okay, how does this change what you would be doing day one post-close? And
Peter, prior to closing, what level of detail do you expect to see in the 100-day plan or strategic plan or both?
Again, I think it depends.
Is it actionable or is it more directional?
I think until the executive knows what the team looks like down below him, it's going to be directional. Unless that he knows he's got specific people that he's bringing in, they're going to do X, Y, Z.
Anyone else would like to add to that? All right. Any other questions for this next period we're going to cover is post-acquisition. Any questions?
You have 5 minutes.
All right. So we'll have to do it fast. So post-acquisition, what kind of communication mechanism do you have? How often do you communicate or engage it, and how you do it? Do you do it on the phone, please?
I'll just give an example. So yesterday, I was at a board meeting for a portfolio company. There's an independent director who's an experienced executive. We're considering an add-on acquisition. He's also a customer to this company. I said to him, how would you view this acquisition? And he kind of ticked off 3 things. They were all favorable. I said, okay, that makes me feel good. We're going to continue to pursue this. And so it was having this person who's been in the industry, in this case, he's been there 43 years in the industry, kind of blessed us, kind of gave me the confidence that this little add-on acquisition was probably worth kind of taking to the next level.
Jeff, how do you do that? How do you communicate with executive post-acquisition?
Well, we have
or executive team.
The formal part of it is quarterly board meetings, typically at the company, because we like to be there and see more of the team.
In person?
In person, absolutely in person, at their sites, so we're not distracted by other things. And then the other 8 months of the year, we'll do just a monthly operating call. And that typically is 30 to 45 minutes of how was the last month, any key issues that came up. And then we try to save the board meetings to be more strategic, prospective, thinking about what are the opportunities and threats on the horizon versus being more backwards looking at what we do last.
And what kind of data during your meetings? What kind of data whatever meeting you want to cover, what kind of data do you require from CFO, from CEO, from the company to be available to you? And how often do you request that data? Or is it available all the time?
We don't have a standard template. I mean, frankly, we leave it up to the CEOs. We have certain companies, or in my career, 27 years in this business, I've had ones that are very cryptic in what they send you, and sort of financial statements and maybe a few KPIs. They have other ones that have very elegant PowerPoint presentations. You know, you go through 60 or 70 pages, and they're very good presenters. It's all over the map, and it's something you can try to coach them, but at the end of the day,
It's all in the map instead?
no, it's all over the map.
All over the map.
It's all over the map, in terms of just the quality of presentations, but typically, depends how facile they are in PowerPoint. You know, some executives still, they're not, they just never manage that way. They're entrepreneurs, and they're not used to doing corporate presentations. The executives we get out of bigger companies tend to be more, they're used to reporting up, whereas these guys, it's all in their head. So.
I would say it depends. I mean, if the company's doing great, we probably have an update call every week.
Things go well?
Yeah,
It's easy.
things are going not so great, it's a couple times a day, probably.
That's true.
Yeah, that's actually a very
So it
good
really
point.
depends on the situation, and if you're working on a big add-on acquisition or two, you're probably talking 3 or 4 times a day with the senior management team. It really depends.
Yeah.
I'd say from
And
the
what's
general-
also, go ahead.
I say, from a general business perspective, I think it would be uncommon for us not to be in touch with that team at least once a week.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Just, talking about what are the key things that we're working on, how's it going, what are the issues you're
And Peter-
facing, do you need resources?
Do you have one point person, or you?
No, we're touching at different levels, but,
Mhm.
I'd say that whoever is monitoring that, or managing that relationship is talking to the CEO at least once a week.
Mhm.
So one of the, great opportunity for context here. Many executives, as you're developing relationships with your private equity firms, they don't get back to me. These guys, if you listen to what's going on in X number of portfolio companies in various stages of success, or something's
Or
going on, that they're having to attend to, plus they're out looking for more deals, and your early stage, the main thing is just be persistent. We work a lot with Thorsten's company on getting things back and forth documents. I just have to stay on him, and eventually we get it. It's nothing personal. It's just that they have various type of things, and the number one priority is fix what's not fixed, get a deal done, do acquisitions, and so you just got to know where you come in the priority, and don't ever take it personally, but stay persistent, right? Again, over communicate. They do eventually go back to look at stuff, from you, but you got to over communicate, come back up, be relevant, and speak to what they're about, putting money to work. Be concise.
Few bullet points, right?
Okay,
And bad news
time for
first.
break.
All right.
Now, who is